What's up, everybody? Welcome to the real side of real estate. Today, we took our entire team, most of the entire team, out on a field trip to talk about one of the projects we're doing right now. So our acquisition team, our dispo team, and everybody can come together to figure out what everybody's looking at. So we got wholesaling, we've got flipping, we've got rental property stuff. Everybody needs to come together and be on the same page all throughout the company. So enjoy. Walk through, show you guys what it is, show you guys the components, and make sure you guys know how to visualize and see things. What's up? So we bought this for $137. We bought it for $137. ARV, who brought this deal in? I think it was Cam. ARV is around $235. So on the back end, we're gonna try and sell for $235. In this house, we're just gonna go through and talk about some of the components. I'm gonna ask you guys questions, and hopefully you guys can spit out some answers at me so we can talk about the rehab. Who has the paper for? So I'm gonna give you guys kind of, you can have the scope so you can see what it's looking like. Here's the final budget, Matt, so you can start to see what numbers look like. And then who wants the receipts or the material numbers? So here's all the materials. It's really small, so you're gonna have to look at it. So what kind of style house is this?
Ranch.
Okay. What's another guess?
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod. So you can hardly tell, but when there's windows up in the gables like that, typically there's gonna be living space up there. What kind of siding do we have?
Mine is stucco and brick.
Okay. Stucco and stone.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you know if you have to repair or replace stucco?
I mean,
If it's
it
cracked,
looks
maybe?
alright, but
Okay.
yeah, I would say cracking, some chipping at the bottom.
Cool.
You know?
So yeah, you want to look for any major cracking, so the stuff at the bottom, that's going to happen with settlement. So with the concrete kind of moving downward over time, it'll pull stuff off. And with the stone down here, we'll probably add, when we do landscaping at the final, add a nice bed, push it up kind of against this, so you can't really see anything that's kind of pulled off. So I'm assuming that was probably from water over time, or it's just chipping away. What kind of windows do we have?
Looks like vinyl.
Okay. Yeah, what else do you guys see that you would need to replace or repair on the outside here?
Roof okay over here? This looks like
Okay.
3-tab.
What
It's dimensional. Right?
Gutters hanging a little on the garage.
What kind of roof do we have here, Matt? Matt?
I don't know. It's dimensional.
Okay. Well, we got two different roofs. We got one here, one here.
Okay.
So one is dimensional. Which
Yeah.
one's the dimensional one?
That one.
Good. It's a good guess.
Thank you.
You did well. And then what's that one called?
I'm not sure.
3-tab.
3-tab. Okay.
So 3-tab, it lays flat. This one clearly 3-dimensional. So it lays on top of each other. It's heavier. How long does this one last?
25 years.
How long does this one last?
I'm not sure.
15 to 18.
Okay.
So you want to look for any tabs pulling up, any tabs missing. Obviously, you can't really see it that well from right here, but you always want to kind of back up, and look at it from afar. So you got a couple tabs pulling up, a little discoloration, but overall, nothing crazy. You want to look for any dips in the sheathing, but overall, looks decent. What else are you spending money out here on?
Paint.
Okay,
At
painting
least
what?
The garage.
Painting the garage what? The garage itself or the garage door?
Garage door.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how, if it's working all right, but
Okay.
it looks all right.
Looks
Definitely
decent?
paint it. Yeah.
Okay. What else are we painting out here?
I mean, would you paint the whole thing?
If the budget allows,
Mm-hmm.
it would look good. So to me, that's one of the first things that can go, because you don't need to paint the outside. I mean, if you look at the other houses, they're kind of all the same.
Yeah, it doesn't look horrible, but if you can.
So
Definitely this.
that's
little
one
awning.
thing. That's like one of the first things I take out of the budget if it doesn't allow.
What do you do about the driveway?
You either keep it, pressure wash it, and seal coat it. Where's Bruce at? How much? Oh, he's leaving. It's expensive. So making sure you clean it up with the landscaping and get it out. Doors, you keeping these or painting them?
Paint.
Okay.
Paint.
What about the porch? You doing anything with that?
Paint it?
Power wash and paint it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as everything's like clean and functional, you don't really need to go above and beyond, especially in areas like this. The comps are nice, but they're not like insanely nice. So patch them, paint them, get it functional to where people can't see the issues. So let's go around back here. So also when you're looking at deals, Matt, and acquisitions, and even dispo, like when you're trying to sell these things, like you got this, how big the yard is. So we got a budget for more mowing. But we're trying to sell this. Like, look at how big your lot is. So fully fenced in. So somebody that, if we're selling this as a wholesale deal, a contractor might like this, or somebody, you know? So trying to figure out who the end consumer is and sell it that way. Another thing, the shed. When you go to renovate, do you have to touch these or do you not? Okay, why? Curb appeal and what else? FHA. So anything on the property that is chipping paint, so whether it's a fence or it's a shed, if it's chipping paint like that, it won't pass an FHA loan.
Really?
No.
That'll blow the whole deal for this house.
The entire thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be on an appraiser's report to paint that. So you gotta always throw it in your report. But also, this one we bought a week ago, you can only sell a house FHA 90 days in. So 90 days or beyond is when an underwriter will start it. Before that, you can't go FHA. So if we go on the market in 2 weeks, we can only accept conventional.
Wow.
So that's a big thing. So sometimes if you're in a first-time home buyer range like this, like 235, it's very possible FHA. If they give you a strong offer, you wait till the 90th day, then it can go to underwriting. If not, you only can accept low-down conventional. Or VA, I think, is 90 days as well, which is your veteran loan. All right, what do you see on this side?
Windows.
Okay. So is it just windows? Is there coil? Or because remember, always think of the deal analyzer. Yeah. So the only time you need coil is when it has existing trim. This isn't trim. This is just block. So they would coil this out. So they would window here. So this is just plexiglass anyway. And then they would pop a piece of coil around it, caulk it in. And that's going to be an extra $50 a pop. But that's all in the deal analyzer, so you got to be able to see it. Mostly that's going to be on older houses. What kind of siding is that up there?
Vinyl.
Okay. What do you call that top of the house there? Starts with a G. Gable.
Gable?
Yep.
I was just making sure you're a gable.
All right. Back of the house, do the same thing. So back up, look at the roof, and kind of just look at all the components together. So what do you see? Like that window there, we just talked about it. That's what a coil would be. So the metal around that window is coiled out. So there was trim, but not in the other ones because that's all block. So it's very possible this house was made completely of block. Probably an exterior door. Yeah, probably a door, something that they added in addition to. What kind of gutters are these?
Not seamless, are they?
Seamless.
Seamless.
Yep, seamless gutters. So how many windows do we need to replace, at least from where we can see right here in that side?
3, 4.
Okay, and then there's gonna be one more over there. Yep. So 5 windows, no coil. So that you just pop it straight into the deal analyzer. That's what it is. I think it's what, $350 a pop. Or you can block them, but I wouldn't block anything on a main house. Anything garage, yes, but we'd never block a regular house. Also, you want to look at stuff. I mean, landscape is obviously a little overgrown, a little nasty. A lot of concrete. That's all fucked up. Something. They had something here. And then also you want to look for stuff like this. This is all kind of pushing away here. This is a garage, so the basement doesn't go all the way to here. But if the basement was here, this is why basements get wet, because this would be pushed all up against the house. So the grading, you can see it kind of just pools all right here. So this is all settling backwards.
What do you have to do for that?
You got to either, we won't do anything on this one because this is all on a slab. But if it was all up against the house, then we'd probably have to jack this concrete up and push it away or tear it out if it was making it really wet. What else does anybody see? Let's say we're gonna keep this and not paint it. That's gonna be the first thing that we add if we have the budget. So we said the windows are gonna get replaced. You wanna look at your soffit, your fascia, your doors, your windows, your AC. Okay. How old does the AC look?
Old.
Okay.
Oh, wow. It's just small.
Yeah, so we already replaced that. So it's brand
That's
new.
brand new?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we already replaced that.
Not bad.
So same thing back here. Are you keeping this porch? Are you painting it? What are you doing?
Power wash,
Okay.
paint.
Power wash paint. Good. Yeah. Talking to the landscape guys, make sure they come and weed whack the shit out of all this, clean it all up. Same thing with here. So you got like 4 different parking spaces here.
I know, this is huge, man.
It's a big lot. What else here? Door, are we keeping it? Are we painting it? What are we doing? Are we replacing it? Keep it and paint it? Okay. So anytime you can keep a door and paint it, you're saving $500. Do that all, you gotta keep doors as much as you possibly can. So doors, windows, all that stuff saves you a ton of money coming through. So we're always counting up light fixtures, remember? So you got one on the front, one on the back, probably one in the garage, so 3. And I'll make that cheat sheet for everybody, but we should be writing this stuff down as we're looking at these deals, as we're walking them, just so you know, like these are the things you can quantify and very easily come up with a price. Yeah. So back here, what are you guys seeing? Okay. Not a huge deal.
It's okay.
Okay. So what was that called? That metal piece going up and around? Half. You got it half right. Fascia.
Oh.
So what they would do over time is they'll put a piece of raw wood and then cover it with aluminum. So that's what they do in new builds now. They just put aluminum up instead of painting wood, because that'll rot. What is that down at the bottom under the electrical stuff? That vent. Crawl space. So you know that this house sits, at least some of this basement sits on a crawl space. You see those. So you're trying to make, yeah. So you're trying to figure out what's going on the inside by looking at the outside. So you know that there's a basement access there through a bulkhead. We've got living space upstairs. We've got vinyl windows. Anything else you see? Yeah. So the only unknown for this outside rehab is going to be what, painting the outside. So it's pretty basic.
Maybe pin up the gutters.
Yeah, maybe pin up the gutters.
Yeah.
Kick them away a little bit from the basement. Fix any flex. So if you see how in that downspout, how it flexes down on the elbow at the top, that's always shitty. You got to get rid of that stuff. But pretty basic. So this is about as easy of a cosmetic exterior renovation you can get. Maybe, I mean, this is stone over block, and this whole house is block. So. So doors, you also got to make sure you account for the door handles and the deadbolts. We got what? 1, 2, 3 sets, paint 3 sets, 3 sets of deadbolts. And we got that giant dumpster out front. So what is that, 30 yard, 20 yarder? It's probably 20. So we got a full 20. And this house had nothing in it. Yeah, these floors are pretty nice. So what's all this stuff here? Drywall punch. So you got to quantify that. So is this a normal, seeing all of these spots, is this a normal drywall punch?
Looks like double.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't be a 1. A 1 is going to be coming through, taking out nail holes and very small stuff. This is a 2 or 3.
What was happening?
Just imperfections. So I mean, when we're coming in, we're making sure everything's perfect.
Yeah.
So the ceilings are perfect, the walls are perfect. You got the existing floors, so we ripped up carpet. So you got trim that comes to here, and the hardwood floors, we didn't even know these were here, but they run into a laminate, So we could refinish these, but you're gonna have to do a new floor over there anyway. So we're gonna probably just do an LVP throughout this entire thing. And then when you lay on existing trim, what else do you have to do?
Quarter round.
Quarter.
Okay. So you gotta do quarter round around everything. So you lay the floors, quarter round, then you have to caulk. So what we're gonna do after we do all this drywall work, so I think they're almost done here with drywall, lay the floors, then lay your quarter round, then paint. Because you're gonna be caulking and painting, you don't wanna do that twice. So lay the floors, paper them, and then go to the next. Also, every outlet and switch needs to be changed to white. You think we're keeping that fan or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get these things going.
Yeah, let's get this cracking here.
The AC should work.
I'm burning up.
Kick the AC on. There we go. Okay, so everything's these cabinets are existing. The ceiling fan was existing. So a lot of times we'll do black fixtures, black knobs, black everything, but since these are all already here, we're just gonna keep them, right? So then our finish package is gonna change to silver instead of black. Simple, easy change, but these appliances were here, we're gonna keep them.
Oh, okay.
There was laminate countertops, we just pulled them off, we're gonna set granite, do a backsplash, and we're gonna be done. So, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
tan cabinets like this, most people look at this and be like, oh, you gotta replace it. These aren't bad.
I personally like that.
It's coming back, there's more people doing this style. So people are sick of the white. These cabinets are not bad. What else? What other, so we're gonna keep the ceiling fan too. Anything, I mean, literally anything you can keep, you try and keep. All these poles will stay. What, let's see. Oh, so here they got the scope that we did, and they have it in Spanish for the guys. So it's all here ready for them to know. I don't know if Bruce does that, or I think Hector probably does that, but letting everybody know on the same page. So if this was a bigger rehab, popping the kitchen design on the wall, where the drawings on the wall, to make sure we know where everything's gonna go.
Washer dryer staying here?
Washer dryer staying there.
Would you level this floor out, or you kind of leave it a little?
We're gonna have to level it with everything else.
Yeah.
So whether that's trying to rip out this is just rolled vinyl. So rip up the rolled vinyl, because you're gonna feel everything of that. And then, or if you don't do that, you have to set a luan, which is a really thin piece that's gonna bring everything flush. So we'll try and rip all this stuff up.
Before you lay your floors.
Yeah.
Says on that.
Yeah. Because the stuff we use is pretty thin, and especially like there and there, you'll feel it, and it'll start to crack, kind of like up in the office,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
So they should have pulled this too. So this was where the existing countertops. Probably should have just ripped it all out, but.
What's the point of that? Just
Nothing.
yeah.
Just old school.
Yeah.
What questions?
Keeping that light?
No.
No.
That's what I was gonna say.
So if they're existing like this, so this wouldn't be considered popcorn. This is just stomped. So it's in here, it's in here, it's in here, it's in all the bedrooms, the bathroom. Just keep it.
Just keep it.
Yeah. Not worth taking down and making different. Unless it's true popcorn and looks like shit,
Yeah. This is
then this is fine. What else we got? Doors. So you want to always look at doors. So that's why you need pictures of doors. So this one, can't really tell. I mean, you could keep it, you could not. It looks like shit because it's been painted over. But if you pop these off and you caulk some of these holes here, where were they at? Here, you probably never know. So you want to get an idea of all the doors and see. Because if not, we'll just go through and get all new. But we'll probably be able to keep these. And then in here, so this bathroom was just one big tub. So the tub was here. You can see where the supply lines were. So you have that going here. The toilet was there. We had to completely rearrange it to get a shower because you only have one full bath here. So this is your full bath downstairs. There's a half bath over there. But you have to make these as nice as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those ceilings are a little fucked up, aren't they?
Right here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I'm gonna have to do something there. Scrape it down,
It's easier to match stomp. You just scrape it and re-stomp it.
probably. or just scrape it and keep it flat, something like that.
Yeah.
So in here, we had to build a false wall. So you had to build this wall here. Mat, so this one, it basically would be a gut. So open everything up, false wall here, because you got to run your plumbing up a wall. So the plumbing's gonna set here, right hand drain. So you got here, you got a drain, you got new plumbing, you have new framing, you have new tile board, you have to seal the tile board, and then you're gonna have to set tile. So there's like 6 different steps you have to do, all have some sort of monetary amount that goes towards that.
I mean, in the analyzer, right, this is full gut bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, mostly,
Yeah.
pretty much. So I mean, we have these are all existing walls here, but to be safe on something like this, just budget it all because you have to reroute plumbing, because the plumbing was here, so the drain was here, they already patched it up, and they had to move it over here and route some over to the sink. So we had to move a bunch of stuff, so might as well budget a little heavier on stuff like that. So what did he have for that?
You know.
Full bathroom package, framing and demo included. He didn't break this one down to light items, $4,500.
Yep.
So he charged $4,500 minus the materials. So we pay for the tub, we pay for the shower fixtures behind the wall, we pay for the vanity, we pay for the toilet. So it's gonna be probably a $5,500 bathroom.
And you're going to vanity toilet?
Vanity toilet. So the toilet will set this way, and the vanity will probably be a 36 wall to here. So nice big vanity, nice big mirror, nice big light. You got the light with it.
It's got a speaker in there, right?
Yeah.
No.
I think so.
Come on.
That's sick.
Party bathroom, dude?
Get lit in here.
Let me take a picture of this. Let me take a picture of this ceiling. We should probably scrape this down.
Oh, gosh. I want one.
Dude, I want one.
Yeah. Moving on.
So stuff like this in this bedroom, this paneling, this is actual wood. This is actual wood, so stuff like this we're gonna keep. Actually, it might not be.
Oh.
So if it's nice, it's textured. It gives the room like a little bit of a flair. So sometimes painting this is not the worst thing, but it also depends on the comps. So these comps in the area are not like A+ nice. Painting this stuff, it gives it, it's like an accent wall. It's almost like shiplap. So we'll keep something like that. Yep. What else we got in here? So I think we ran overhead lights into each of these.
Yeah, it's like new. Painting closets or not?
Huh?
Painting closets?
Yeah, always. So this was probably the breezeway at some point. From the house to the garage, this was an addition at some point. This sits on a crawl, or they built it up, so they ran ductwork. So anytime it feels like a wonky room that wasn't normal, because a lot of these houses, I'm sure if you look at comps, are just 3-1s. So this is now a 4-1. They added a bathroom here, and everything's kind of in the middle of the room. So they ran ductwork up through, and they have a bathroom there. So they ran the plumbing as close to the house as possible. Notice how it's not over here, because then they would have had to run the plumbing through the crawl space up into here. That's the end of the basement. So they put it right there to share with the other bathroom.
Nice.
So you're always trying to, if you're trying to add bathrooms, share walls, share plumbing wall. So if there's like you'll notice in these old 3-bedroom, 2 slab houses, because the plumbing's in the floor, that there'll be a hallway bathroom, and then on the back side there's going to be a master walk-in bathroom because they're sharing plumbing.
Right,
so the shower's being shared tub to tub, the sinks are sharing vanity to vanity, toilets are sharing toilet to toilet. So everything goes in and then down to the main.
Makes sense.
So that's why they did that there.
Gotcha. I like it.
But yeah, I mean, if the kitchen was hardwood, we would probably refinish, but we'll just LVP all this stuff and call it a day.
How much would it be to
Sand it down. I think we're at like $4 a square foot. But I mean, this ceiling in here is not great. So you got to kind of make a decision. Do you want to get rid of that? Do you not? We'll probably end up keeping this. It's not the worst.
Clean and paint.
Yeah, we'll paint it.
Should probably make it look a lot different.
Yeah. And then you have a giant, Giant garage. It's huge. Yeah.
After you, my friend. After you.
So these are things you can't really quantify on ARV.
My garage
It's like,
is
okay, how
big.
much does this add? It's whatever somebody's gonna pay for it.
It's a nice building.
So you got a huge yard. You got an extra bath and a half. You got an extra half bath.
It's huge.
You got a huge garage. So I mean,
It's huge.
my contractors may love this house. So something like this, clean up everything, take everything off the walls, and just paint the shit out of it. So paint it, clean it, paint the floors, call it a day. So. So upstairs, what, you have a question?
No, I was just saying that's what that one.
Yeah. Half the house was paneling in this house. So that paneling and wallpaper. So I think in here there was a lot, actually, I think this was all wallpaper. So
Is that you?
this was the
Ethan?
easiest wallpaper I think we've ever worked with, Bruce said.
Um,
Usually it's a huge pain in the ass to get rid of. So you see how much mud they used. They didn't use that much. So it's pretty much ready to go already. They'll sand it down still, but it's in good shape. And then upstairs, we'll show you guys this. In Cape Cods, in attics that are finished, always look for, especially Matt, always look for ductwork. There was no ductwork upstairs. So the new furnace and air condition that we had to do, you gotta make sure you know that you're adding runs, because if you don't, and you're trying to use existing furnace and air conditioner, they may be underpowered, and your upstairs is gonna get hot as shit regardless. So now that we updated the AC in the furnace, we added bigger units and we added runs. So there used to be a closet where the shower's at on the backside. We closed that off. We ran ducts up that closet, closed it off. Now it's a chase, and because you don't need that closet in there, the bathroom's already big enough.
gotcha.
And we ran ductwork upstairs, and we'll talk about the basement after. But this here was all,
You got some. Is this a problem?
it was an old leak probably, so I don't think it's active. This was all paneling. They just popped in a duct here. You can feel it, cold air coming in. It's gonna be hot up here just because the heat wasn't on,
Interesting, huh?
or the cooling wasn't on. We'll carpet up in these areas. Carpet, trim, but you can see how much drywall work they've had to do up in these areas. And then, Matt, what does this mean here?
It's old.
Okay, what is old?
It only has two. You need the bottom one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this house was built, I think, in the 50s.
Okay.
So is this gonna be knob and tube behind the wall?
No,
No.
it is not.
So if this house was built in the 30s, you say, okay, that might be knob and tube, we gotta figure that out. Just pull it out, and you can tell. That's actually just 2-wire.
So it's just ungrounded?
It's just ungrounded, which is not the worst.
Yeah, right.
So make sure that in the kitchens and bath there is grounded and ground faulted. So if you're gonna do all this reno, make sure you run a few lines to do that. If you're up in a room like this, make sure you take a look at the roof to see what you're working with. But other than that, so there's no closet in here either, right? So you can count it as a bedroom, maybe not. I'd probably frame this out here to here, where Rob's at with a rod for both of them. Or maybe a corner closet in this one. You gotta do something. Yeah, it's definitely bigger. But also a little soft in some areas. So you gotta figure that out first.
So what, that could be just rip this up, see what the subflooring's like,
Yep,
and then figure it out from there.
yep. So it's probably just wood like that, that's snapped in between two ceiling joists. And you gotta pull it up, run a 2-by in front of it, or over it, and then put some like OSB. But in here, drywall punch. That door, how tall are you, Alex?
6'1".
Okay, so doors typically are 80 inches. What's 80 inches? How many, was that 8? Almost 8 foot, 7 foot?
A-series, what's 80 inches into feet?
7.5.
7.5?
I bet.
6.67.
Okay, so those doors are not gonna be standard size. So we gotta take doors and cut them down at the bottom, stuff them, and make them fit. So they're not gonna be standard size doors. So that's gonna add a little bit of money. That's a vent, a plumbing vent.
Plumbing vent.
Yeah, realistically that should be, it's probably for the kitchen. The kitchen's right under us, yeah.
Yeah.
We probably should soffit that out. So we should probably make the closet like here,
Yeah.
frame that out here, and then make that a closet, something along those lines. But we need to add 2 closets up here somewhere, so here, maybe in the hallway for that bedroom, because that bedroom's really small.
I mean, this is how my closets are in my house. Just a door here and frame
Yeah.
a hole inside it.
So they've already done all the drywall, so we missed that on the scope. So we need to add that, and we're gonna be kind of working backwards. We got a lot of different types of ceilings. Just gotta kind of is what it is, paint them, make them nice. But if we were gutting the place, taking out ceilings, doing new drywall, these stairs are also really
Those
unproportionate.
Oh, shit, look at that.
Oh boy.
Quirky is not good.
Oh yeah, feels better.
So I think the budget on this one's 35 grand. So let's call it 40 because it goes over pretty much every time. 235 times 0.94, so realtor cost and closing costs down to 220, minus 40,000 rehab, minus we bought it for 137.5. Or I think it was just 137, maybe 137.5. That gets us down to 43.4. What else do we have? Were you listening at all?
Yeah, I was.
Well,
Yeah.
so we're down to 43. What else? What else do we have?
Closing costs.
Okay, so 2,500 minus what
10 or 10,000 for closing.
for closing?
Yeah.
Or for
Or
money?
holding costs.
Holding
right.
costs.
Yeah.
So we then have money costs. So we can throw 10 in there, but we can even get even more granular with it. So we are 135 or 137 plus 40. So our loan will be, let's call it 177 times, let's say we got a 14% loan. That's 27,000, almost 25 a year, divided by 12. We're gonna be in and out of this in 90 days, hopefully. So times 3, so 6,200 bucks for holding. And we probably paid a point or two. We actually did hard money with private money on this. I know we paid about 2,500. So plus, let's just call it 3,000. 91, let's just call it 10,000. So we had what, 40,000, 42,000 divided by 10,000. So we're at 32 grand profit margin on this, if it sells for 235.
Right.
So then we can say, okay, do we spend an extra 5 to paint the outside and maybe get a higher dollar amount?
Right.
Or then you pick up both numbers. But this should be exactly, for a house like this, what we should be looking for.
Yeah,
Right
that's
around
good.
30. And if we get lucky and it sells for 240, 250, then it's icing on the cake. But if it sells for 215, which is also possible, you got minus 40, minus 137, minus another 10, then you're only looking at 15, which isn't amazing. So, because these guys, the contractors here, could be working on another house making 40. So there's opportunity cost of putting them on different houses and making more money. So then, like, that's why we need, especially on a house like this, like 30 grand is a threshold, because we're also deploying 200 grand, right? So at 200 grand, we could maybe buy two cheaper houses and make 20 grand a pop.
Right,
That's an extra
right.
10. So making sure that we're having, especially as we go higher, so like Beck, for example, I don't know if you've been there. Oh, you did. The one that's the nasty German village house.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be deploying 450 grand. We gotta make 100
Right.
to make that make as
Yeah.
much sense as possible.
Right.
100 plus, because we could use 450 to buy 3 or 4 other houses.
What's
Yeah.
the rehab looking like on that?
Probably 200. Yeah, it's fucked. The chimney just fell
Oh
and it snapped all the shit. Yeah.
no.
Unexpected.
No.
What's that, like?
I think it's an extra like 2,000 bucks for our guy to go down there and fix all that. Yeah, our framer is amazing, luckily. Questions?
We'll blow those bushes out.
I don't know. Some people might like it. They might like the privacy. So I'd keep that stuff if I can. Any mature landscape I like to keep, unless it's fucking up the. Oh, we didn't go in the basement.
I had a question too. So if you're keeping these appliances, the white ones, are we
Yep.
gonna get a white fridge?
Yes.
Yeah.
White
keep
fridge
it
to
all
match.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
This floor probably wasn't cheap, was it?
Huh? That was existing.
Was it cheap for it? Or is it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. Oh shit.
Okay. So Remember, 40s house. What kind of stuff are you looking for down here? A lot of shit.
Yeah,
So.
let's say asbestos.
Okay, where would you see asbestos?
No, let's say what you look for.
There should be lights.
Looks like there's probably asbestos tape under that.
Possibly.
There's probably a good chance, but that's not a big deal.
That's no good that you replace.
So there's a 2-wire. So we already saw some 2-wire upstairs we want to see. So the electrical panel's here. So this is not original to the house, I don't think. This would be original wiring from the house. This is called BX wires. It's in metal. So this is a hot neutral in here. This is not grounded. Never will be grounded in there. This stuff coming off the panel, all of this stuff is newer. So if you're walking houses, this is where you want to look first. So up here, and then you want to follow it. So I know this house is 40s. So I'm going to follow these runs and figure out where they lead to. Because a lot of times they'll go, Rob, will you turn that light on? They'll go and they'll splice into something else. So like here. So this is coming in and splicing into something outside. So that's an outside run. Yes. And then all of it, so all this stuff's actually going up into the walls, which is good. But what they can do is splice it up into old in the walls too. So it could be old up in the walls. So the best thing you can do is bring an outlet tester. But a lot of times they'll run it and they'll put a box right up in the joist, and you'll see old come to new, splice it, pop a cover on it, and that turns it into old. So you need to be looking for that because most people just look at the panel, see the new panel, be like, oh, it's updated. You gotta look a little further. This plumbing needs secured. This is copper plumbing. They need to put hangers on these. So this is all new that they ran. So this isn't even, this is like going downward right here. That's not gonna cut it. They gotta pop this up, hold it on a hanger. Yeah. So you gotta pop it up on a hanger, run it out. Is this house on a septic? It's on city water. Maybe it's just, a lot of times your sewer line, your stack will go down into the floor. So the stack is out the wall there. So a lot of times when you have it going out the wall like that, so you got PVC here. So this is all updated, and this is running upward. So this plumber did a shitty job. So it's your toilet running. They need to redo this, or they need to push it up.
At a decline into that stack.
Very, very, very simple. Poop only slides one way. It's down.
Yeah.
So this needs cut. This needs popped up. This is all no good. Yeah.
This is, we didn't do that, right?
No. Yeah, the guys did. This plumbing line is positive and not negative. Looks like at some point somebody cut this joist open too. Might have been our guys. I don't know. That's not proper, huh?
New brand new furnace?
New furnace. We just added that. So this is cast iron. This is original. So you want to look at like the bottom, sides, look for rust, corrosion. So the plumber who did this work was not great. So they need to fix a lot of that stuff. Asbestos, you'd see it here on all these collars. It doesn't look like there's any asbestos on any of them, which is nice. But you want to look for any water, smell for water. So down here, we'll paint the joist black. We'll paint the floors gray. We'll paint the walls white. So there is water coming in from this downstairs or this outside area. So you got to kind of figure out why. So they got a grate. So it's like a floor drain. So that's going to be running outside. Realistically, we probably should put a steel door in.
When it rains, it's difficult.
Yeah. So the only way you can fix that is putting a drain across the bottom into this floor drain. It's collecting right now there, which is kind of what it's meant to do. But it's still going to get wet down here, so you can't finish this
So
basement.
they literally just cut a chunk out the floor.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it all sitting there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what, could you get a better door to the outside that would?
Yeah. Try and seal it up.
Weatherproof door.
Yeah. Yep. And you can see all this. I mean, this does get a little bit wet. It's not active because you'd smell it, you'd see it on the floor joist, but somebody painted it in the past.
You guys want a shower pan or anything?
No, there was already a shower there, but we're just going to clean it out. Let them do what they want with it. Down here, you want to look for, so especially in these old basements, anything that's wood. So stairs going down, look down at the base. If it's wet, if it's rotted, you'll know. Also these posts, so the main posts holding up the house, you'll be able to see if they're rusted. So this has a little bit of rust on it. This holds up the entire house, running across the entire beam. So you want to look to see if these are rusted out. That'll tell you if there's been water down here. And then anything that's sitting on the ground. Furnace is metal. If that return right here, air return, if it's rusted, water gets down here. You got to alleviate all that first, because somebody's going to come in and they're going to care about that. They want to store stuff down here. They want to put a kid's bedroom down here possibly. And if you don't take care of it, they're going to get scared shitless during a home inspection. That's pretty much it. Well, anybody have questions down here?
How much would it cost to, I know you're talking about jacking up the concrete and grading the everything else, something like that.
There's a lot of concrete out there. I mean, a decent amount. But it's not coming, so the back of the house is not even really where water's coming in, right? So this was the area that we were looking at. And this is all pretty dry. So it's more like front corner of the house where the bulkhead is. Getting rid of it there.
And then outside, I know, obviously painting it. Would you paint it with a margin?
Where's the waste for this toilet go?
That's a good question, because the main line's going out there. It's got to tie down in somewhere. Because that drain is also in the ground. This looks like it's probably a sink drain.
You think they could have dug and that's why they have this covering on the floor?
Maybe, but typically you'll see, so the main stack is over going outside that way. Typically there'll be a stack like here going into the ground. So honestly, I have no idea. Let's see what the crawl space looks like. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
What's up with this beam right here?
I don't know. It's not holding. It's just
Spare wood or something?
yeah. They might have wedged it in towards the end there, but nothing crazy.
This right here need fixed?
It's it went against this when they were putting it up.
Should be cleaned up.
So yeah, this needs pushed up. This plumbing needs fixed a little bit. Cool. What else?
When do you decide to move that or not? Since you didn't refurnish, let me see.
If it's really rusted, and if you're taking out lines, so most of this house was already existing. So you got lines going to your living room, your dining room, kitchen. That stuff we're not changing, but we did add to all the black going up and in. Realistically, this should be pinned up too. That's going up the wall.
That's just what's running upstairs.
Correct.
In that section.
Be hard to get in there, but yeah, I mean, you should have a vapor barrier in every single crawl space.
They don't run, is this not common anymore, that type of ductwork?
It is, but this is cheaper.
This is cheaper.
And this is insulated, and it does the same thing. Yeah, you can get away with this. Will pass code, so it's an insulated line.
Why not?
Yeah. Hot. This is a lower efficient furnace, so this is going to be your, what's it called? Your exhaust. So anytime you see metal coming off of your furnace, that means it's not high efficient. So that means it's venting into something. So it's venting into probably a chase out the roof. So if we go back and think about the back of the house, there's what's called a B vent going out of the roof line. A newer furnace would have, or an updated high efficient furnace would go out the side of the house with PVC. So you want, especially when you get to older houses, you want to go more high efficient because a lot of times these would be going into chimneys. So like something like Beck, that chimney's been there for 130 years. There's going to be cracks in it, breaks in it. You want to make sure that you're getting stuff out of that because you're just going to run into thousands, tens of thousands of dollars of repairs when somebody comes to buy the house. So getting them all out is important. High efficient would go outside the house.
But Beck's already had that.
Yeah. But the water heater, I don't think was. Cool. We'll let these guys get back to work.